Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing great. First of all, good morning, and I hope everyone is safe. I would like first to start by thanking the TRA for giving us this great opportunity of being part of the TRA Virtual Academy. And I would like to thank them as well for their great effort throughout the process just to ensure that everything is going smooth. To start, just let me first tell you that today's presentation or course will be about branding and website structure. So it's basically targeted for e-commerce business. And if you're looking forward to open your brand, you need to understand what is branding and what are the important pages that you need to mention or include in your website. Now, let me first introduce myself. I'm Emmy El Asmi. I'm a project manager in Creative 971, and I've joined the team in February 2019. Being a fashion designer helped me in developing a detailed brief about Creative 971 and what we do. We are 100% e-commerce experts. We develop cutting-edge websites for innovative retail brand. The company is owned by siblings Julia and Nico. They're German siblings, and the company was founded in 2016 as an e-commerce agency. We only work on Shopify and Shopify Plus platform. The number 971, as you know, it resembles the GCC country code, and hence it resembles the UAE country code, and hence it just shows our gratitude towards UAE and the GCC region in general. Now, just to not make it lengthy, we usually host two Shopify events per year and one Shopify Plus event per year, just to speak about what is new in Shopify and Shopify Plus. Aside from that, aside from what we said as well, we do have our online training academy course. If you would like to check it out, you could visit www.creative971.com. And basically, we've launched it in September 2019. It is a full e-commerce blueprint program within our region. And we have partnered with TRA, as you know, TLZ, Delivery and Logistic Partners, payment gateway providers. So we are making sure that we provide our customers with A to Z solution. Now let's dig in. Today's topic is about branding and website structure, as I've mentioned, and let me just take you through the agenda. So first, I will be discussing about branding building 101, which is how to build a brand, and then we'll go through the 10 steps to building your brand. So actually what you need to do in order to build a brand. And we need to highlight the importance of consistency, because without consistency, your brand won't be successful. And as I've mentioned, at the end, it will be the website structure. So we will take you through the important pages that you need to develop and how to actually resemble your branding in those pages as well. So let's start. A question which is, what is a brand identity? So what is brand? Brand identity is essentially your company's reputation. So it's not about who you are. It's about what people tell each other about you and your brand. Brand identity is not one specific aspect of a business. So it's not only one value. It comprises of multiple factors. There's a lot of things that contribute to your brand identity, such as company values. So what is your values? The communication style. How do you actually communicate? Are you more into a formal company or is it informal? So it's basically about the communication styles. As well, aside to that as well, the products offering. So what do you offer? So even your brand identity should show what you offer, your color palettes, your logos, of course, which is the most important thing, and many, many more as well. So it's basically your A to Z style. It's not only about the logos, not only about your colors. So basically, most of the people, when they think about developing a brand, all what they think of is designing a logo and colors, and that's it. Well, that's not pretty much it. You need to have your values, you need to have your communication style, so everything should be already visible in your brand and your logo. All of these elements help to portray your brand to the outside world, but the world's perception of those factors ultimately becomes your brand identity. So all of those factors, what I've mentioned, it helps to bring your brand to the world. But brand identity, as I've mentioned again, is what people think of you, what people think of your brand. So it's basically your reputation. Here's as an example of brand identity. So let's take an example as McDonald's. We all know McDonald's. Now, when you hear the word McDonald's, what do you think of now? You think of their food, you think of their sandwiches, their fries. Some of the people, when you say McDonald's, they think of the Mac nuggets that they sell. So basically, you automatically start seeing and experiencing what they sell. So you already know what they sell. When I tell you McDonald's, you'll get to know the, let's say, the restaurant, or let's say the shop, how it actually looks. So everything is stuck in your mind. Why? Because there's consistency. Wherever you go, you will taste the same Mac. You will eat. You will see the same decoration, the same logo, the same communication style as well. So the communication style between their employees and the customer is consistent wherever you go, wherever you travel, wherever you visit Mac. So they have built a very strong brand identity. Wherever you go, it is the same McDonald's and it won't change. So as I've mentioned, it started with the golden arcs, which is the McDonald's logo, but much more than that. What do you think of when you see the logo on you hear or you hear the name? Some of you might think of Ronald McDonald, which is the owner. Other imagine the taste of smell of Big Mac and fries, as I've mentioned. Regardless of what you think of specifically, McDonald's has established a global brand, as I've mentioned. Wherever you go, you will experience the same thing. So why is it important for you to put effort into building a brand? So before actually starting your business, you need to really spend more time and research while building your brand. Why is it important? We will see it now. Your brand is essentially the face of your business. So let's say the front face, you know, when you say don't judge a book by its cover, but if the cover of the book does not attract you, then you won't read it. You won't even spend more time to read the description at the back of the book. So it's very important to spend time while branding your business. As mentioned in here, it is your face of your business. So it is the first expression. Without a face, you cannot stand out from the crowd, as mentioned. Companies need a brand to differentiate themselves in crowded markets. So to be able to beat the competition, you need to have a good brand. You need to have, your face should actually stand out. Branding builds credibility and establishes trust between business and customers. So, brand, what does it do? It establishes trust between who? Between the business and the consumer. So, between us and you, basically. So, as Creative 971, our brand, our logo, the way we communicate, you will find the way we communicate is the same whether you communicate with me, whether you communicate with any of the colleagues, or whether you communicate with the manager. So we are having the same communication style. Uh, and this is what you need to as well develop when you are putting effort, or what, let's say, when you are building a brand, as it differentiates you between others. It actually makes you stand out between the competition, so it helps you to be more successful as well. Branding builds credibility and establishes trust between businesses and customers. It's what emphasizes people to buy from you in the first place. So basically, it helps customers or consumers to make their decision a way more faster and quicker. It keeps them coming back to you for more in the future. So we will discuss some examples just to justify our last sentence in here. Let's think of Starbucks. Now, I'm a huge fan of Starbucks. I know, let's say, I could afford a less way cheaper coffee in any other place, but why I usually go for Starbucks? First of all, I receive a very good quality of coffee. I really like their staff. They're very friendly. So the communication is a very essential tool as well when building a brand. Well, I know their mission, so it's basically wherever I go, I will just get the same Starbucks coffee, and many other as well. Global coffee brands, they are doing the same. So let's just take Starbucks as an example. Your brand can even impact your pricing strategy. Consumers are willing to pay a premium for brands they trust. As I've mentioned, I'm willing to pay more money getting a coffee from Starbucks rather than any other shop. Why? Because I know what I will get. I know the quality. I really enjoy the even the purchasing journey. You know, the people in there, they're friendly and they're always smiling. So it actually makes you feel happy while spending money there, because at the end you're getting it back in return. So in a different way, of course. Starbucks is an excellent example of this. So why are people willing to pay such high prices for a simple cup of coffee? Well, the answer is branding. Whether you're in Los Angeles, New York, Paris, or Rome, you know exactly what you're getting when you walk into a Starbucks. So if I'm traveling and I don't know, let's say they're local coffee shops, I will usually opt to purchasing a coffee from Starbucks because I know what I will get in return. So I won't just, I know that I'll be satisfied with the taste, I'll be satisfied with the full process. So I would rather pay more purchasing a Starbucks coffee than any other coffee. You could get a bigger cup of coffee for a fraction of the cost at a gas station or small local donut shop, but those places don't have the same branding power as Starbucks, and hence we are willing to pay more at Starbucks rather than at any coffee places. Starbucks' mission statement is to inspire and nurture human spirit, so one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. It is achieved through the power of branding. So everything, so this actually shows you how branding is really important and how it is important for you to actually spend more time and amount and do more research while you're thinking of building a brand, because that's how brand is important. You could actually sell your product at a higher price if you have a very strong branding. So let's now dig into the second step, which is the 10 steps of building your brand. Step number one is to establish the purpose of your brand. So, why do you actually want to open this business? What will you sell? How will you do it? And why do you do it? I'm sure you'd like to turn a profit. So, that's basically the first step, let's say, that you think of. But that's not the type of purpose that's going to help you establish your brand identity. This might go beyond the products or services that you are offering. So basically, to build your brand, you need to think, what is the purpose of your brand? You shouldn't, you know, let's say a simple answer, which is to have more profit and to live a better life. This won't serve you. This won't make you successful. You need to think of something more deeper. You need to actually have a very strong value points, and you need to know who you are serving so that you build your brand accordingly. For example, let's say your business delivers pre made meals online. What's the brand purpose? It's not selling food. Well, it's providing nutrition and convenience to health conscious professionals who are way too busy to cook on their own. So you see, the way you structure the words, or let's say the way you actually place your purpose, is very important. If I will just open pre-made meals and I will say that my main goal is to sell food, I won't make any profit out of it. People won't be willing to pay more for me if to get the pre-made meal from my business. However, if my main purpose is to provide good nutrition, so I'm actually providing quality to them, it's nutrition, and I'm convincing health people, let's say people who would like to live a healthy lifestyle, that I will prepare this meal to you so that I know you're busy. I know that you're having, a full schedule, a full day schedule. So you don't have time to actually prepare a healthy meal. I will do that for you. So that's basically my first purpose, and it's not giving you food. So as you see, if you got my point now, what I'm discussing is that the purpose is very important, and selecting the right purpose in the right way will make a huge difference while you are trying to build your brand. Once you dig deep and truly define your brand's purpose, you can put that purpose into a well written mission statement. So basically, once you know your purpose of your brand, then you need to write a very well structured mission statement. As an example, or let's say, just let me tell you what is a mission statement. A mission statement is a short statement of why an organization exists. So why do you exist? What is your overall goal? And identifying the goal of its operation. So, what you do, how you do it, and why you actually do it. So, those three questions should be answered in a short sentence, and that's basically your mission statement. Step number two is to identify your brand's target audience. You need to know who you're selling to. It's very important, and we've discussed this point throughout several courses that we've done with the TRA Virtual Academy, as actually understanding your market, understanding your target audience is a very important step to grow successfully and to have your business operating for a longer period of time. Who wants to buy and what you're selling. So basically, if you think it's not you who are actually making, of course, you're having a great impact of making your business successful, but at the end of the day, people are the ones who are giving you profit. So your customers, your consumers, your clients are those who actually keep your business running because they are providing profit for you. If you don't take care of your target audience, of your clients, if you don't actually um, put your target audience your priority and work on all of the rest steps according to your target audience, then you won't be that much successful. Basically, you need to always, let's say, fine tune your company just in order to fit your clients, to fit your target audience more, because this is what will actually make you more successful. So, who wants to buy and what you're selling? Identifying your target audience is one of the most important aspects of branding. If you overlook this step, the rest of your brand building strategy will suffer. As I've mentioned, it is such an important step to actually know who you're selling to understand the way they think, and to build your brand according to their needs. Your business isn't for everyone, but don't try to make it appeal to every single person on the planet. So you need to first put in mind that um, you cannot offer your business to everyone. We are very diverse, as you know, so you need to target a selected people, or let's say a selected group of audience, and just focus on them. And trust me, you'll be more successful. You could expand it time by time, but if you will start your business brand and you think that I want to grow fast and I want to sell to everyone all around the world at once, you will suffer a lot, and this could actually harm your brand and your business. So just think of identifying your target audience and expanding it step by step. Think about some of the brands we've talked about so far in this guide. So McDonald's, Starbucks, Nike, Gucci, or let's say Apple as well. Those brands each appeal to specific target markets. So they are all targeting a specific audience. People who usually loyal to McDonald's, they are not the same customers loyal to Starbucks and the rest of the brand. So basically, this is actually what you need to consider while building a brand and while identifying your target audience. Remember, branding is a component of marketing. So it is a very important step while you market let's say, while you're marketing your business. Don't lose sign of that. A lot of people think that branding has nothing to do with marketing, while it's the way opposite. It is a very large component of marketing. You need to treat your branding strategy like any other marketing campaign. Step number three is to create a unique voice for your brand. So you need, as I've mentioned, the communication, the voice, the way you communicate with your client, with your customers should be unique. So let's go through this example just to show you what I'm talking about. Once you've identified your target market, You must develop a brand voice that speaks to your audience. There's a lot of different ways to approach this. So, here, this is an example from the Arrive Hotel FAQ page. So, that's just an FAQ page, and we will see how they actually communicate. You need to first think, do you want to be professional or not? Is your brand voice funny, or are you trying to be casual? All of your brand's copy should have a consistent voice across all of your channels. So, through your website, through your social media, through your webinars, or wherever you go, wherever you represent, or whatever channel you use to represent your company, it should actually have the same voice. So if you are casual, it should be casual through all other channels. If you are very professional and formal, then it should be professional through all of the other channels as well. Let's take this as an example. So here, that's a question. Do you have a bike I can borrow? What is the answer that they are using? Yeah. So they are using a very casual, voice and not professional. So they're not saying yes, we have. They have used an answer or the word of yeah. We have sweet wheels you can use around town. And here, do you have a hoverboard I can borrow? And then the question, or let's say the answer is, no way, dude, get your own. So basically, as you see, they're using a funny voice, and that's basically their brand communication. And it is not only represented in the FAQ page, but it is throughout the website. The voice is very informal. So they say yeah instead of yes, as I mentioned. They use other phrases like sweet wheels, dude. So the page even mixes in some humor with the question about borrowing a hoverboard, as the question that I've just discussed. So this brand voice continues throughout the FAQ page, and these are a bit more examples, as you can see. What about cats? Then the answer is hmm. So basically, it is they are using more friendly way of communication, and it is consistent throughout the FAQ page, throughout the rest of the pages, throughout the other channels. So that's what you need to consider while building a brand as well. B2B companies selling enterprise SaaS couldn't have the same brand voice as a retailer selling clothes to teenage girls, because it's totally different. So everything is related to each other. Let's say if you are dealing with professionals, then you need to be professional. If you are dealing with casual people, then you need to be casual. And as you see, when I'm saying dealing with, I'm referring to my target audience. So target audience, it's very important, because target audience will affect the rest of these steps, and it will actually have a great stamp on the rest as well. So it depends who you're selling to, and according to this, you could actually select a specific communication style that you would, just take it consistent throughout the pages. Step number 4 is to tell your brand story. So you need to actually tell your story. People need to know who you are and what is your story, because it's not only about selling your product, it's more about your story as well. The brand story encompasses all of the 3 steps that we've previously discussed. So it's an overall of the 3 steps that we've previously discussed. You should treat your brand story as an extended version of why in your mission statement. So in your mission statement, it's basically why. So that's the answer that you're selling, and hence you are placing a mission statement. Your brand story is an extension to this. So you need to elaborate more. You need to just, say more about you and why you are actually building this brand. So what is behind your brand, and why are you serving or selling such kind of product? This explanation of why you are in business should appeal to your target markets. Why being expressed in your brand voice. Here is an excellent example from Tom's. So Tom's, they sell shoe, but that's not what this brand represents. We have highlighted some of the key parts of this brand story that showcase the company's purpose. So here, as you can see, it's mentioning that our community has given nearly 100 million pairs of shoes to people in need. So that's their story. That's why they're actually operating their business with passion, because they're having a main purpose out of this. And then they will discuss how it all started, and over the years how it actually how they grew the company over the years. So the company gives away one third of its profit to support people across the globe. It actually did not donates shoes to people in need. So that's the purpose. And if you will know the purpose behind Tom's, then you will be more willing to pay or to purchase a shoe from Tom than any other brand. Why? Because you know it is going for a good cause. Step number 5 is to design your brand's visual elements. So now, once you finalize the 4 steps, you need to actually start designing your brand, your logo, your colors, and everything. Now it's time to create the visual representation of your brand. So basically, your logo is your visual representation, and not only logo, but even the kind of icons that you will be using, and so on. So we are referring to things like your logo, color palette, and typography. These are the starting points for designing a brand. So you need to first know your logo, what colors you will be using, and what font, what kind of word phrases will you be using, and so on. Think of the McDonald's golden arcs or the Starbucks sirens. So that's basically a logo and the brand that they are using throughout their journey. When you see those logos, you immediately know, you directly know what they represent. So if you will see this, you will know that this represents Apple. If you see this sign, you know that this represents Nike. If you see this as an example, you know that it represents Starbucks, and so on. So the logo itself represents the company. So you need to design your logo very carefully, and the slogan as well. Let's say the colors that you are using, and as I've mentioned, the typography. So everything needs to be thought thoroughly while designing your brand's visuals. Something as simple as the font of your company name within the logo tells a lot about your brand identity. So, the font as well is very important. If you are using let's say a corrosive font, then it shows that you are, more stylish, more into the casual communication and casual brand. But if you are using a very, let's say, bold font, then it will give you as well a feeling that this company is, a bit bold and a bit more professional as well. Step number 6 is to establish your brand differentiation. So you need to know what differentiates your brand from other competitors, what actually helps your company to stand out, or what is the difference between you and your competitors. What makes your brand unique within your industry? So that's basically what you need to think of. You need to take the time to research your competitors to see what they are doing. By monitoring your competition, you'll be able to discover what branding strategies work and which ones to avoid. Try not to follow the same exact branding strategy as other businesses, of course, because you need to be unique, as I've mentioned. If those businesses have branded themselves very well, it will be challenging for new businesses to come in and have success. Why? Because they will be having loyal customers, as their brand existed long time ago. So you need to be a bit more unique in order to have, to build your target audience and to have loyal customers. Step number 7 is to build out your brand. So now that you've established all of the components of your branding strategy, it's time to put that strategy up for the public to see. So as you see, before actually starting the actual work, there's a lot of research, a lot of studies, a lot of time that you need to put in order to start with your website and start designing your website, start with the usual with the actual work process. So step number 7 is the only step that you would need then to start to build your brand. So you need to place all your branding elements out to the public. Show the people who are you. Show the people your mission. Show the people your logo, your colors, the way you communicate what you actually sell and why are you selling and why are you unique. So all of those aspects should be, let's say, you should actually highlight it while you are building your brand. Design your website, create your social media profiles, establish your presence on as many different marketing channels as possible. So you need to actually be more visible in a lot of marketing channels. As you now know, a lot of people are marketing through social media because we are all using social media channels now. So you need to make sure that you don't only have your website, but you do have Instagram account, Facebook account, Twitter account, if you would like as well, Pinterest account, so any other possible social media platforms or social platforms, you need to be visible in there. And you still need to be consistent with your branding in all of the channels, as I've mentioned. While it might be tempting to do this step first, it is important to follow the process. I know when a lot of people start their own brand, they're very excited to actually see their business and their brand comes to life. So um, I know that you would like to actually start with this as your step number 1, but to be successful, to be unique, to be able to be in that competition and to step up in that competition, you need to actually follow the previous steps that I've mentioned. You can't write website copy until your brand voice has been established. You won't be able to pick an effective color scheme until you've designed your logo and visual elements. So you can't write an about us page or mission statement without establishing your brand's purpose and story. So as you see, everything is connected to the previous steps. So just follow the steps what I've mentioned to guide you through building your brand successfully. Now let's take this website as an example. It's Raw Coffee. We've actually built this website for our client. You will see throughout the homepage and throughout their website, they are using the same colors, the font, the branding. So everything is very visible from their homepage. You'll be able to know what they're actually selling from just visiting the homepage. Even from the logo. As you see the logo in here, there's a coffee bean here next to the W, so you will know that they are selling coffee. Additional to that, they still mentioned coffee company below, just to so when you see the logo, you will definitely know that they are selling coffee. Let's see their homepage. So you see they are using the red color, white and black. So that's mainly their color codes, or let's say their color elements. You see here their brand elements. So the design element, everything represents their brand. So it is very personalized. Even those the value points are designed using the same font style in their logo. So you can see that everything is finalized in one page. You could actually feel the branding, and they have experienced or they've explained the purpose of Row. Who are they? They do actually have blogs. So from the homepage, you know that you can subscribe to their coffee. You could go for training. You could purchase a gift card. So everything is mentioned in the homepage. The color, the font style, the way they communicate, so everything is consistent. So they've actually built their brand and they have designed it, and um, the brand was highlighted and reflected in the perfect way possible in their website, and even this is consistent throughout the rest of the channels too. Step number 8 is to promote your brand. So once your brand has been built out, it's time to you to start promoting it. So you need to actually now promote it while doing some marketing campaign, and just make sure that your brand is reaching to a higher audience. These individual marketing campaigns will vary from business to business. It all depends on what type of brand you're creating. A local dry cleaner won't have the same promotional strategy as a national e-commerce brand. So you need to know your target audience, what is your brand, and according to that, you need to set your marketing strategy. It's different from a business to business. It's different from what you actually sell. So marketing strategy that works for an e-commerce business, let's say, won't 100% work for a Creative 971. Why? Because e-commerce business, you're actually selling tangible products. Creative 971 is selling services. So the marketing campaign that we are doing is totally different from the marketing campaign that we suggest our clients to do. And that's the main key behind success and behind a successful marketing campaign. Regardless of how you're running promotions, whether you are running promotion through social media ads or through pay-per-click campaigns or through email marketing, radio ads, or etc., it's important that each promotional method mirrors your branding strategy. So the way you promote should actually reflect your branding strategy. If your business is more funny, then let's say your marketing or let's say your social media video should be in a more funny way, more interacting. If you are a professional person or your company is more professional, then the way you are marketing your company should be in a more professional way. I will just do my video in a very more professional way. I will use professional words, professional phrases, so everything will be consistent, even on those small things that are, let's say, very small details. You need to actually take care of that. A very small details could have a great impact on your branding. So if one time you are doing a marketing campaign using a different voice, and let's say the other time you're doing another campaign using a different voice, then let's say people won't be able to relate to your branding 100%, and hence the trust will be a bit, it won't be very strong. So you need to make sure that even those small details, you are still taking into consideration your branding, the words you are using, the way you communicate, and how you actually deliver your let's say your marketing campaign or your video, or how you actually promote your products. Step number 9 is to get others to advocate for your brand. So you need to let other people to discuss your brand, to talk about your brand, to bring your brand, to just, let's say, if you are building your brand from scratch, how will other people know about you? So it's basically, if you are willing to deal with a specific influencer, it will help you a lot, because basically now influencers, they're having a lot of followers, and with only a story or even a post, it will reach to many, many, many other people around the world in a quicker way, and hence it's more time efficient for you to actually make your brand reachable to a very wide variety of people. Great branding spreads like wildfire. You should create marketing strategies that get your existing customers to become brand advocates for your business. So if our clients like our work, they will definitely inform their friends about us, and hence their friends will communicate or contact us to build their business. So that's how the circle goes on. So if your customers are happy with what you actually sell, then they will tell their friend, and their friend will purchase from your website. Her friend will tell their cousins, their family. So basically, that's how the circle will expand, and that's how you will gain more customers. Here's a basic example. Nike doesn't get Fortune 500 CEOs to be brand ambassadors for them. They don't make any sense of their product line. So basically, sorry, that doesn't make any sense of their product line. Instead, they sponsor athletes, Amazon founders, Jeff Bezos, and he was famously quoted for saying, "Your brand is what other people say about you when you are not in the room." So Nike, if they would like to actually make marketing campaign, they won't make it with CEOs. Why? Because CEOs are not their target markets. They will actually sign contracts with athletes because they are selling they're a sport company and they're selling sport shoes, sport clothing. So it's basically more focusing on the athletes. So athletes will be able to deliver the message to the right target audience. So as I mentioned this again, as you can see, the target audience is very important, as it actually affects the rest of the steps, as discussed now. Step number 10 and the last step is to evolve as your brand grows. So you need to actually change, fine tune as per what your clients need. If the specific strategy does not work, it's fine. Don't give up. Just try to fine tune it a bit. Talk to your customers, talk to your consumers. What is actually not working well with them, and try to find an alternative solution. And always enhance your business according to your clients' needs. Now let's discuss the importance of brand consistency. Brand consistency is the practice of always delivering messages that are in line with the identity and values of your brand. As I've mentioned, consistency is very important not only while developing a brand, but it should remain consistent throughout the channels. If you're opening a store, an actual physical store, let's say, then the design, the color elements used in your website, used in your store should be consistent wherever you go, so that people will be able to relate more to your branding. This helps you to build trust and loyalty between the business and the customers. So if there's consistency, then I will trust your brand. Why? Because I will know wherever I go, I will be receiving the same quality. I will be having the same experience, and it won't, I will trust your company more, and I will definitely come back to you later and later and later. So I will come back to you again and again. Why? Because everything is consistent. I know that what I will experience today is the exact same thing that I will experience tomorrow and after tomorrow. So it will encourage me to purchase more from you, and hence I will be your loyal customer. It helps you beat your competition, as discussed as well, because you are consistent. You have you are unique through the rest, through the competitors, and hence it will help you beat your competition. As I've mentioned, branding is marketing on a higher level. So branding is very important marketing tool as well. So it helps you are no longer convincing consumers to stop into your store or buy your product. Why? Because your brand is well known now. Starbucks, let's say, you won't find any Starbucks person who's standing outside of the coffee shop and just asking people to come and purchase from them. They already have their loyal customers. They're always fully, let's say, the coffee shop is always fully seated, and they do have the loyal customers anyhow. So they have already built a very strong brand, and people trust them, and hence you don't need to actually spend more on marketing, because branding is marketing on a higher level, as I've mentioned. Consumers trust brands they recognize. As I've mentioned, that's why consistency is also important, as if you're not consistent, I won't be able to recognize your brand, and hence I won't trust you, because I won't know who you are. So if there's consistency, I will know. Let's say, just as an example, if your website is having a specific name, and your let's say Instagram channel is having a different name, I won't actually relate that this Instagram channel or this Instagram page relates to your brand, and hence I won't follow you. Why? Because I won't recognize you. And why I couldn't recognize you, it's because there's no consistency, and hence I won't actually trust to um, follow your Instagram page. Now let's discuss about the website structure. It has an impact on usability. Website structure is very important, because website structure will actually it's actually more about the user experience. So how your user and how your customers will actually navigate through the pages, how do they feel, and how smooth the process is. That's very important to think of when you are structuring your pages or developing your pages. The chances that your visitors will become customers greatly increase if they are able to easily find what they're looking for. Helping them to navigate your website by making it in, intuitive to find important information is key. So basically, your navigation should be very straightforward. Your navigation bar, I'm referring to the in the header. I'll actually show you the second slide. What is it? It's a bar that actually specifies what you're selling, your main collections and categories. So how should you structure your navigation menu? It guides your visitors, as I've mentioned, to your products and important information. So it's also a very important tool in terms of communicating your purpose. So about pages should discuss more about. So the navigation should have your collections, your categories, and your about us page, or let's say more about the brand. So it should tell visitors two things. The first thing is what your website sells, which is most likely your main categories, and what your website is about. So let's take this as an example. So that's a website that we have actually developed. You can see here, so there is collections. You can see shop, which will take you to the product to the full collection page. You can see the story, the press, and the contact. So it is very easy for me to find what I want because everything is listed in the navigation menu. So that's very important. How to build high converting landing page. The goal of a great landing page is to increase conversion rates in order to reach your marketing or business growth. I will be answering all of your questions as soon as I just finalize those last slides. I will answer basically your questions in the last 10 minutes. So let's proceed. How to build a high converting landing page. A landing page should basically just guide the user to many other collections. So you should highlight a lot of collections. You should highlight the pages in your website in a smart way, not only through navigation, but throughout the landing page. So let's see this as an example. So basically, that's a website that we have developed. This is a home page. As you can see, we are linking different collections here as they are having a quiz page. They are linking the banner to the quiz page. We are showing different products. As you can see here, that's the bestseller. Explore the color. What kind of coffee do you like to purchase? So everything is highlighted in the home page. So a high converting landing page means that when people let's say a specific page that is having a lot of sections for customers to click, and then it will redirect them to the pages where they can actually shop. So it makes the shopping experience easier and quicker. So how to build a high converting landing page? The goal of great landing page is to increase actually conversion rates. So to actually build a landing page that is having a which is high converting landing page, as I've mentioned, the purpose for it is to encourage the customer to purchase in a way smoother way, and hence if the full process is more smooth to them, they will definitely purchase from your store. Otherwise, they will just log out and they will check any other website. A landing page can be your home page or any other page within your taxonomy, or it can be a standalone page that is created for a specific campaign. So if you're creating a page for a campaign, users should be able to add the product to the cart in a very smooth way with few clicks. So CTA or buttons are very essential to be visible in any landing pages because this is what will convert people, and this is what will increase your conversion rate. Make the buying subscribing process more efficient. As I've said, it should be very efficient, very smooth. Within few clicks only, they need to be able to add the product to the cart and to proceed to process the checkout. So CTAs are very important. As I've mentioned, it's the same website. You see there are buttons wherever you go. Any banner, there is buttons. And if you are highlighting any important collection, then the images are big. Just big enough for customers to know that they need to click in here. And if you will hover over, then you will find the arrow will be like a clickable mouse, so they will know that they need to actually click in here. The other page, so now we are done with the landing page. Collection page is very important. The collection page need to be developed as well in a UI UX manner. So you need to have the right filters. The filter should have the right category. You should use the words that your customers usually use, and hence your target audience. You should only show relevant collection specific filter. So filter that is only relevant to this specific collection page. So let's see the collection page of Three Coffee. It's a website that we have developed as well. So the collection page, as you can see, they're having the filter. Aside from that, speaking of consistency, you see their hover effect. It's actually showing you the sleeve of the bag. So the branding is consistent throughout everything. So throughout their packaging, that's the brand, and everything is consistent even in the product page in the website. So we have developed something that when you hover over, the sleeve will appear to make the information more visible. So consistency, you can see here in this collection page consistency. You can see the filters, so it's easy for user to navigate and to find what they want, and hence it will be a better UI UX collection page. Other than that is the product page. You need to develop and import a UI UX product page. So what is UI UX product page? You need to consider your product description. Product description should be very informative, that informs the client or your customers what you're selling and what this product is, as you need to consider that people are not actually seeing or feeling the product in real life, but they're only seeing it as images and reading more description. So the words should be more informative, and the pictures should be in a very high quality for users to be able to know the quality of the item. The variants, let's say if you're having different colors, different sizes, it should be easily selectable as well. And in the product page, to be more, let's say to show more product to the users, you need to have an alternative or supplement product section. So I'll take you through this page. That's another website that we've actually developed as well. So you can see the pictures are big, they're very good quality. You could actually see the item, and here you can select different variants, which is the sizes. Scrolling down, you can add the quantity, add it to the cart, add to wish list as well. The description, as I've mentioned, it specify the composition of the material as well. The value points is mentioned. This is alternative products, so everything is mentioned in there. That's what you need to consider when building a product page as well. So that's basically the most important landing page, let's say the most important pages, or what we call them as a converting pages. Other pages, of course, that you need to include in your website is the About Us page, Contact Us page. The policies are very important to specify in your page, which should be highlighted in the footer as well. So you should specify terms and condition, privacy policy, shipping and returns or shipping and refunds policy as well. And if you are having any press or blogs, then please develop another page where you will be able to highlight your press or blogs as well. So you are sure that your website is fully loaded with all important or essential pages that your brand actually presents. So that's basically what we do, as I've discussed in our previous or in the starting of the course. So we actually do UI UX design, web development, app development, consultancy, training, as you can see with the tier A as well, that data integration and digital marketing. So that's basically our services. By this, we have completed today's course. If you do have any question, you could definitely give us a call in this phone number, or just send us an email through info@creative971.com. And of course, don't forget to follow us using this Instagram handle. I will be going through your question now just to answer all of your questions. Okay, so basically how to register your brand. To register your brand, you need to have a license, of course. And in your license, you would need to have your brand, let's say, your company name. So to actually do this, if you would like us to introduce you to our partner, because we do have a partner who could help you in, starting up your business and setting up your business, or as well having your trade license activated and set up, please feel free to send us an email at info@creative971, and we will make sure to introduce you to our partners so that they will help you and guide you step by step to actually register your brand. Um, let's take another question. Okay, is this one a 1 day course or 1 week? Because when I registered, it says 16 September to 20 something. No, it's only a 1 day course. So this course is for today, and we usually just do 1 hour course. We are having, as Creative 971, another course as well with the TRA by the end of this month. So you could definitely check their platform, the academy.tra platform, and from there you'll be able to see the upcoming courses, and you could definitely register from there. Or otherwise, you could as well follow us at Creative 971, and we usually post our webinars with the TRA ahead of time, just to make sure that our followers register to the webinar and use, just benefit from this webinar as well. Laila, your question is, what is this? Could you please just let me know what are you asking about, so that I will be able to answer you more, because I actually don't know your actual slide that you were asking about. Okay, how is persuasion important in maintaining the recognition of the brand? If you are not consistent in your brand, then people won't be able to actually recognize your brand. As an example, let's say using different colors, as I've mentioned, an example that if your brand is using only white and black colors, and there is a specific, let's say, social media account that is using a different account name, I won't know that this account name represent to your brand. So as you can see, just a simple example, our company is called Creative 971. Our logo is similar to our company name, Creative 971, with a specific font style that represents our brand. Our Instagram handle is Creative 971. So as you can see, just let me highlight for you a small detail here. Here it is Creative 971. And in here, 971, we are using the numbers. So we are consistent throughout all of our marketing campaign, throughout the logo itself, throughout our website. Where we go, 971 is actually written as numbers and not as letters. If 971 will be written as letters, then it will be hard for our clients to recognize us. They will think that this is another company, and hence being consistent help your customers to recognize your brand easier, and you will be able to have your let's say your clients will be more loyal to you, and the trust will be stronger because they will recognize your brand very easily. As I've mentioned, Mac is using the exact same logo wherever you go, the exact same colors wherever you go. The store, the outside store, the logo, or let's say the colors that they are using in their let's say in their branding as well, is consistent in each and every country. So even if you're just walking in the street and you see the label, you'll know that this is Mac. They don't need to actually include the full brand name. They don't need to specify Mac and then mention McDonald's. So only by seeing the logo M, you'll know that this is a Mac, and you will enter and order your meal from there. So that's how important consistency is to recognizing your brands. What about making your own brand, which is hardware based? Um, then your brand should resembles your let's say what you actually sell, and it should resembles, as I've mentioned, your mission as well. So everything should be consistent, and it should be highlighted while building your brand. So if your brand is hardware based, as far as I understand, is that, let's say, if you are um, let's say more into hardware engineering, if that's the case, then your brand should resemble what you're actually doing, from the logo, from the wordings that you're saying, or let's say from the way you communicate, from your value points. If your question is what kind of softwares you would like to use to do your branding, then there's a lot of softwares that you would, designing softwares that you could use to actually design your brand, or you could just hire, any agency that could spend, they're more professional in designing your brand. Please let me know if I've answered your question. Um, would you say that a company like Noon that sells everything has a brand or indeed a target audience? Definitely, yes. There is Noon, there is Amazon, there is any, let's say, a lot of more other companies that are selling, or doing the same drop shipping concept. But Noon, now they've started their own brand. Why are you more loyal to Noon and not Amazon? It's because they're branding, because the full process, so the consistency of the brand, or let's say the audience who usually purchase from Noon, are definitely different from Amazon. While you could purchase from Amazon and Noon, but there's something in you that will, you actually like a specific company more. So let's say if you are more loyal to Noon or more loyal to Amazon, then that's basically a two different target audience. Thank you so much. By this, we've actually finalized the today's webinar, and I hope I've answered all of your questions. As I've mentioned, you could contact us through these numbers. Thank you again, and stay safe, and I see you in our next webinar. Bye bye.